ring. There's loads of things going around at the moment, including a big clash with Canelo Alvarez. Can you tell us what's going on in that situation, and can that happen next?
We shall see, you know. Who knows?
That smile's telling me something else, bro. I think it might be on the line, no?
Just saying, man. We can't.
Oh, I feel like Canelo, he don't have nobody to fight no more. Like, who would you really want to see him fight besides Crawford? Nobody. There's nobody else.
My opinion is my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't think Crawford can beat Canelo. But still, do I think he can give him a good fight? And I'll be sitting there rooting for Crawford all day. I'm put all my money. I'm always going to bet on black, always.
Terence Crawford has finally said something about the fight he might have with Canelo Alvarez. Will boxing fans finally get to see their long-awaited modern dream fight between Canelo and Crawford in 2025? A lot of people think that the clash will happen during Canelo's famous Cinco de Mayo weekend in May. On X, Ruben Carter tweeted, "Breaking news, Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford is officially set for May 2025. Also, famous trainer Robert Garcia told Fight Hype just before Christmas that he had heard rumors of a possible fight between Canelo and Crawford on that date, which made the rumors even stronger. World Boxing News recently said that Crawford is one of Canelo's short lists of possible opponents for his fight in May. There is still a chance that Turkey Alec will pay for what is going to happen in Las Vegas. However, when it comes to power, few things speak louder than cold, hard cash, and Alec certainly knows how to make an offer. The huge amounts are so unbelievable that it's hard to tell the difference between a millionaire and someone much more important. He's known for orchestrating high-profile matchups, his latest goal making Canelo versus Crawford a reality.
To be honest with you, Crawford he's one of the best technical fighters I've ever seen. But, you know, when he went to 154, I'm not saying he had problems, but he kind of looked like he didn't have the power that he had at 147. And he still had to come up two or three weight classes. You know what I mean? But, I mean, I don't know. Crawford, bro, he's like a one-of-a-kind fighter, you know what I mean? Especially since if he knows he's going up to 168, he'll probably bulk up. But, I mean, I think the weight classes have to be respected. You know, I feel like Canelo, he's a more natural super middleweight. And if he's going against Canelo, his first fight being at 168, you know, it's kind of already, you know, he has a lot of disadvantages against him, so I feel like Canelo will win.
But the idea of a fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has boxing fans all over the world excited. This is because Canelo Alvarez beat Errol Spence Jr. very well. Crawford has boldly stated his eagerness to step into the ring with the Mexican super middleweight king. Crawford, often hailed as the top pound-for-pound boxer globally, is set to face a difficult challenge by stepping up 2 weight divisions to take on Canelo. Yet the journey to this landmark clash promises to be anything but smooth. One-time super middleweight world champion Demetrius Andrade talked about this much-anticipated fight. "I love Crawford. He's a wonderful friend. We reach out to each other. Through the student program, we've been traveling the world. He saw me beat people up. I saw him beat individuals up. I think the stories could go on, but when it comes to weight freedom, that is real." Andrade said during an interview with Fight Hub TV that Andrade was earlier rumored to be in talks for a bout with Canelo. Recognized Terence Crawford's extraordinary skill and prowess. Still, he feels Canelo's size and extensive experience in the upper weight divisions give him a clear edge in any potential matchup. Andrade explained Canelo is a big bad wolf, and he can run the whole night. "I think Crawford has the skills, but when it comes to Saul getting shots and blocking his power shots, Canelo knows how to move too. He has agility, not like a robot. I mean, it's going to be tough. I don't think Crawford can beat Canelo, but I still think he can give him a good fight, and I'll be sitting there fuming for Canelo all day." A potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford has all the makings of a historic boxing spectacle as undisputed champions in their own weight classes. These two warriors bring distinct fighting styles and charismatic personas that have earned them a devoted global following. This matchup promises to deliver an electrifying and unforgettable battle should this fight materialize. It has the potential to mark a pivotal chapter in both boxers' careers, serving as a spectacle that to mend their places in the sport's history. Demetrius Andrade is giving an honest evaluation of the bout while acknowledging Crawford's exceptional talents and their past connection. Andrade pointed out the major obstacles the welterweight champion will encounter by stepping up 2 divisions to face the super middleweight title holder. Andrade thinks Crawford can fight, but he doesn't think he can match Canelo's size, strength, and quickness. However, it doesn't seem like Terence Crawford will have the chance to round out his career with a last bout against Canelo Alvarez.
In reality of it, I just think Canelo knows how to fight. He knows how to come in big, and he can throw hard shots. He's a technical guy too. Look what he did to Callum Smith, hitting elbows, hitting arms, hitting all this other stuff. He's going to use those same type of tactics on the smaller guy. I'm just saying. I'm just talking real boxing facts. I'm not trying to be in this fantasy world because it's not what I'm in.
Are you going to continue to stay at 168 pounds?
Yeah, 168 pounds is a good weight class. I think there's a lot of great fights. Just the guys I mentioned are all in 168 pound weight class. I think there's nothing for me at 160, nor do I want to even try to make that weight anymore. I've outgrown it. Like I'm big now. You know, we all get older, we don't get younger.
The predictions continue to come in over the planned clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Although they're 2 weight classes apart, the prospect of a Canelo versus Crawford fight is slowly gaining traction, with both fighters seeking opponents for spring 2025. Alvarez's most recent fight took place in September, where he successfully defended his WBC, WBA, and WBO super middleweight titles, earning a unanimous decision win over Edgar Berlanga. A month earlier, Crawford made his 154-pound debut and won the WBA super welterweight title by beating Israel Majmu. Many believe that Ford hitting the super middleweight limit and adding another 14 LABs could prove challenging, making a possible clash with Alvarez seem like an insurmountable hurdle for the Nebraska native. Tim Bradley, a former 2-weight world champion and now a boxing analyst, gives a different perspective. In a recent video on his YouTube account, he shared that, after carefully analyzing both fighters, he had predicted a dominant win for Crawford. Bradley said, "I woke up at 3 a.m., and something told me to study Canelo and study Crawford. Crawford is about to beat the shit out of Canelo Alvarez. I'm letting you know right now he's about to beat the brakes off of Canelo Alvarez. A victory for Crawford would be a remarkable feat, further elevating his already exceptional legacy that boasts undisputed titles in both the super lightweight and welterweight divisions. But going into the fight, Canelo will be viewed as the favorite, and he has summed up his reasons for believing he will win in just 5 words. On the other hand, despite the fervent excitement and rising demand from fans, the highly anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford appears set to stay a mere fantasy. Eddie Hearn, the head of Matchroom Boxing and a longtime ally of the Mexican champion, recently offered insight into his discussion with Canelo regarding the possible bout, and the outlook isn't looking bright. You may remember that His Excellency Turki Alek was advocating for the matchup during Crawford's clash with Israel Madrimov last year. The Saudi royal even pushed Hearn to contact Canelo's team in an effort to bring the fight to fruition. Despite these efforts, the bout never came to life, and discussions about the possible fight have gradually faded. Hearn's appearance in an interview with Fight Hype when he was questioned about the details of the possible match was the last straw. Hearn revealed, "I'll be honest, I'd be very surprised if that fight happened. I think His Excellency has been pushing that fight. It didn't seem like it was something that Canelo was really up for, to be honest." Hearn recollected his prior talk with Canelo, stating, "I think his kind of feeling is when I beat Crawford, everyone's going to say I've beaten a 154-pounder. He further explained that at this stage in Canelo's career, he seeks opponents who are willing to engage and press the action, a style Canelo feels Bud isn't likely to adopt. Crawford is making a significant leap up through weight divisions for this potential clash, putting him at a clear disadvantage. Even if he manages to hit 165 lbs, Canelo will still hold the size advantage to secure victory. Bud will have to count on his agility and footwork." Hearn shares this sentiment as well. Crawford can't really come to fight in that fight because he's at a huge, massive size disadvantage. Hearn told Fight Hype he concluded by reiterating, "I don't think that fight will happen even with this sobering truth of this possible bout." On the other hand, despite the fervent excitement and rising demand from fans, the highly anticipated showdown between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford appears set to stay a mere fantasy. Eddie Hearn, the head of Matchroom Boxing and a longtime ally of the Mexican champion, recently offered insight into his discussion with Canelo regarding the possible bout, and the outlook isn't looking bright. You may remember that His Excellency, Turki Alek, was advocating for the matchup during Crawford's clash with Israil Madrimov last year. The Saudi royal even urged Hearn to call Canelo's team in an effort to bring the fight to fruition. Despite these efforts, the bout never came to life, and discussions about the possible fight have gradually faded. Hearn's appearance in an interview with Fight Hype when he was questioned about the details of the possible match was the last STW. Hearn revealed, "I'll be honest, I'd be very surprised if that fight happened. I think His Excellency has been pushing that fight. It didn't seem like it was something that Canelo was really up for, to be honest." Hearn recollected his prior talk with Canelo, stating, "I think his kind of feeling is when I beat Crawford, everyone's going to say I've beaten a 54-pounder. He further explained that at this stage in Canelo's career, he seeks opponents who are willing to engage and press the action, a style Canelo feels Bud isn't likely to adopt. Crawford is making a major leap up through weight divisions for this potential clash, putting him at a clear ear disadvantage. Even if he gets to reach 165 pounds, Canelo will still have the size advantage to secure victory. Bud will have to count on his agility and footwork." Hearn shares this sentiment as well. Crawford can't really come to fight in that fight because he's at a huge, massive size disadvantage. Hearn told Fight Hype he ended by reiterating that he doesn't think that fight will happen. Even with the sobering truth of this possible bout, individuals are still expressing their thoughts about who they believe will win. Despite the years of anticipation, the highly anticipated showdown that boxing fans across the world are yearning for remains elusive as 2024 approaches. Drew to a close, more rumors of a potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford took the internet by storm. Although the details remain unconfirmed, the buzz spread rapidly with respected boxing outlets echoing the same whispers. Several hours later, ES News posted a video on their YouTube channel addressing the circulating rumors and tracing their reins. Eddie Hearn, boxing expert and founder of ES News, also discussed the possible date for the showdown, speculating that it could turn into the most monumental fight Las Vegas has ever witnessed. News of the possible fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is everywhere. Swatch admits, however, he couldn't find the source. He added, "I can't find anyone who started this rumor, and I went to a lot of legitimate news outlets, but no one has mentioned it." The insider claims that since there is no verified source, this is still only a rumor that is spread widely. Nevertheless, he didn't dismiss the chance of the fight happening, asserting that it's still a possibility. Swatch also suggested that the speculated $250 million payday could have influenced Canelo Alvarez's decision to consider a bout with Terence Crawford. The February 2nd 62 boxer has consistently denied rumors about a potential showdown with Bud, citing the disparity between their weight classes. Nonetheless, multiple sources have suggested that the Omaha native is among the top contenders for a May 5th bout with Canelo, placing the fight around Cinco de Mayo. The reports also reveal that His Excellency, Turki Al-Sheikh, is eager for this showdown to take place, and he plans to bring it to Las Vegas, specifically to the T-Mobile Arena, Canelo's longtime territory. The speculation intensified following the unified super middleweight champion's recent comments about a potential showdown with Terence Crawford. Canelo Alvarez, hailing from Guadalajara, has consistently rejected the idea of facing Bud for several reasons. Yet, during an interview on Sway's Universe a few months ago, the Mexican fighter seemed to suggest a shift in his stance, even expressing a sense of anticipation for the bout. The 34-year-old declared, "I'm in. Why not? Don't get me wrong, he's a talented fighter, but for me, in my weight class, it's an effortless fight. Easy money." Claiming that he won't shy away from facing Terence Crawford for the right amount of money, Canelo went on to explain why he had rejected Bud so many times and what had changed. Canelo said, "If the money is right, I'm in because I don't like to fight guys like Crawford. He moves a lot, and the fight is not that great. I saw in his last fight that he doesn't move that much now, so if the money is right, I'm incorrect now." Stating how Crawford's elusive fighting style has influenced his choice in 2024, Crawford made the leap from 147 lb to 154 lb, stepping into the light middleweight division in pursuit of a title in his fourth weight class. He squared off against Israil Madrimov for the WBA super welterweight title in Los Angeles, securing a unanimous decision. Victory, yet it wasn't his most dominant showing, as the challenge of adjusting to the new, heavier weight class was clear throughout the fight. Who could have predicted that this lackluster performance would sway Canelo's decision and finally give Bud his long-sought opportunity? Yet the road ahead isn't straightforward. The perfect fighter with a record of 4-10 must still ascend 2 weight classes to match Canelo's size, unless they agree to settle at a catch weight. And
I can't go down anymore. But like he say, when they ask him for the Germonta fight, they don't wanna get credit for that fight. It's the same for me. I don't need to take that fight because everybody's gonna say it's too small, and then, he need to enjoy his fight.
Okay,
He deserve it. He deserve it. I like Spence, but I like Spence and all the respect for him and everything. But I knew. I think is the type of fight Terence Crawford is different. 168, but like I say, like he say, nobody's gonna give me credit for that.
Thank you very much.
who could have anticipated that a lackluster performance would influence Canelo's decision and open the door for Terence "Bud" Crawford to claim a long-awaited opportunity? However, the path forward remains challenging. Crawford, an undefeated fighter with a perfect 41-0 record, must move up 2 weight divisions to match Canelo's size, unless they agree on a catch weight. Although Crawford previously fought in the super welterweight division, he's ready to make the leap to super middleweight, adding another 14 pounds. His aim is to join the elite ranks of Floyd Mayweather and Dimitri Bivol as the only fighters to defeat Canelo in nearly 70 bouts. Initially, Canelo showed little interest in the matchup, but has recently warmed to the idea, provided the financial terms are favorable, especially with support from Saudi Arabia's Riyadh season. The possibility of the fight happening has never seemed more realistic. James, a Hall of Famer and 3-division world champion, has expressed eagerness to train Crawford for the fight. Speaking with Mill City Boxing, he shared his belief that Crawford can secure a knockout victory over Canelo. James added, "I'd go back to camp with Crawford and make sure he gets it done. Canelo can be knocked out. He's not invincible." He dismissed comparisons between his own achievements and Canelo's, asserting that Alvarez isn't in his league. Crawford remains focused on cementing his legacy, even as the fight with Canelo appears daunting. Meanwhile, Jake Paul's push for a fight with Canelo has taken a backseat to the anticipated showdown between Crawford and Alvarez. Despite rumors about their bout, no significant progress has been made, though Crawford, hailing from Nebraska, remains optimistic about facing the Mexican boxing legend. Professional boxer Alexis Rocha, who has sparred with both Canelo and Crawford, shared his perspective on a potential clash. Recalling his high school sparring sessions with Canelo, Rocha admitted, "Canelo went easy on me because I was only 17. But even then, I felt the power behind his punches." Comparing the two fighters, Rocha acknowledged Canelo's size advantage, but praised Crawford's reach, intelligence, and adaptability. While Rocha ultimately predicted a Canelo victory due to his experience against larger opponents, he also emphasized Crawford's ability to hold his own. Andre Ward, another boxing great, voiced his belief that Crawford would emerge victorious against Canelo despite the significant weight jump. Ward told Boxing News, "It's a dangerous fight, but I'm not betting against Terence Crawford right now. Someone has to prove they can break his will." Ward's confidence in Crawford highlights the split opinions among experts regarding the potential matchup. However, Mike Tyson offered a contrasting viewpoint, summing up his thoughts on the fight in 3 words: too much weight. Tyson elaborated, explaining that Crawford struggled against a previous opponent due to size and awkward style and should reconsider pursuing a bout with Canelo. Tyson's comments underscore the significant challenge Crawford faces if the fight materializes. In the end, whether Crawford and Canelo face off remains uncertain. While fans eagerly debate the outcome, only the ring can provide the answer, if the fight ever takes place.
What do you think about Terence Crawford calling out Canelo?
I don't like that fight.
Why not?
I don't like that fight. It's just
too much weight, you know, and he had a close fight with the last guy he fought, Terence, because this guy was big and he was awkward. He was really awkward. He shouldn't have fought that guy. He should have fought a guy that would just come straight at him. The guy was too awkward.
He's herky-jerky. Yeah.
Want to know.
In another twist, Canelo Alvarez has seemingly signaled his readiness to take on Terence Crawford, sparking excitement over what could become one of the most eagerly anticipated bouts in the sport. This clash promises to put two of boxing's finest at the peak of their prowess. The potential showdown between Canelo and Crawford is set to be nothing short of historic. Canelo, the undisputed super middleweight champion, has ruled his weight, class with a blend of raw power and pinpoint accuracy. Meanwhile, Crawford, hailed as one of the most technically gifted fighters of his time, combines masterful skill with a strategic mind, earning him the top spot in the pound-for-pound rankings. In an interview with Sway's Universe, Canelo Alvarez expressed his openness to the fight. "I'm in. Why not? Don't get me wrong, he's a talented fighter, but for me, in my weight class, it's an effortless fight, worth the money." This declaration signals a significant change for Canelo, who had once hesitated to take on Crawford, arguing that defeating a smaller fighter wouldn't earn him the recognition he deserved. In contrast, Crawford has remained steadfast in his pursuit of the fight, even willing to ascend 2 weight divisions to showcase his supremacy. Crawford is fully conscious of the physical edge Canelo possesses, recognizing that size will be a pivotal factor in their matchup. Despite this, he remains steadfast in his belief that he can navigate this hurdle and dominate with his distinctive boxing style. Several analysts have raised doubts about Crawford's potential to perform at a high level in the super middleweight division. Their concerns partly stem from his latest outing, a points win over Israel Madrimov in the super welterweight class, which fell short of the commanding performance many had anticipated, despite the prevailing concerns. The prospect of a showdown between Canelo and Crawford has ignited the imaginations of boxing enthusiasts with their combined blend of raw power, lightning-fast speed, expert technique, and undeniable charisma. The clash promises to deliver an unforgettable spectacle.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened. Next.
With a huge fight against super middleweight king Canelo Alvarez still on the cards, Terence Crawford hopes to disprove his skeptics. He achieved the status of a 4-division world champion by defeating the powerful Uzbek fighter Israel Madrimov. His victory, a unanimous decision, secured him the WBA super welterweight title in August, a little more than a year after his undisputed clash with Errol Spence Jr. Crawford secured his 41st professional victory following a brutal 9th-round barrage that forced Spence to yield. However, Bud has been demanding a chance against Alvarez even before his triumph over Madrimov, hoping to add to his already illustrious history. Anyway, it appears that Crawford is still holding out hope that a lucrative altercation with Alvarez would happen. I've been doubted my whole career, and some are still doubting me now. I love it. He wrote on X recently, it appears that more often than not, the American has been the one pushing for the fight. So that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos.